Good evening.
Good evening.
Before we begin this evening, we wanted to honor a few special guests who've joined us for the class of 2021's commencement exercises. In just a few moments, we will begin in prayer as we do all things with Deacon Joe Nickley, class of 1975, leading us in this year's commencement exercises. But now, we want to represent or honor those representatives of the class of 2020 who are here with us, a small group of 9 students representing the hopes and dreams of a class of 2020 who never got the chance to experience walking across the stage last year. They were the first class to graduate during this pandemic, and we want to honor them in a special way for paving the path of resilience and grit that this class of 2021 has continued to march down to today's special event. And so I ask the class of 2020 representatives to please stand and be honored.
Welcome back. And we'd like to ask you to come up onto the stage so that you can take that walk that you missed out on last year. And the first graduate of 2020 represented today is Audrey Della Barba. Ashley Langen. Nicole Lincoln. Brianna Lubin. And Johnny Otero Jr. Congratulations once again, and thank you so much for coming back. It's wonderful to see you. God bless.
Now we begin this evening's commencement exercises as we do all things at Cardinal Spellman in prayer. And for that, I ask Deacon Joe Nickley to please lead us.
Please join me in praying for the class of 2021. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Let us bow our heads and pray for God's blessing. My brothers and sisters, we gather here today to acknowledge and honor the Cardinal Spellman High School class of 2021. Loving God, we thank you for the gift of the many accomplishments of this class over the past 4 years. Inspire these young men and women to dedicate themselves to be even more successful in their future academic endeavors. Help them, dear Lord, to enjoy this present moment while maintaining a healthy perspective on the future. Give them the spirit of humility and joy, and with a generous amount of courage and patience to persevere when confronted with difficult obstacles. Lord, it is so difficult for us to say goodbye to these talented and gifted young people. It is hard to let this class go, for they have been very special to us, added so much to our lives. However, new adventures await them, and we must let them go. With great joy and some sadness, we begin our commencement exercises. May God bless the class of 2021. Amen.
Thank you, Deacon Joe. At this time, we ask our graduates to remain standing, and everyone else could kindly stand for the singing of the national anthem. If there are any other singers of the graduates who want to join us over there, come on over.
See
Please have a seat, everyone. I don't know about you, but there's a part of me that can't really believe we are actually here. But before we officially get this graduation started, let's take one deep collective breath, because we made it. You made it, class of 2021. And what a gorgeous night we have been given. Such a gift after so many obstacles along the way. President Hose, Mr. Kelly, Mrs. Evans, Deacon Joe, distinguished faculty and staff, parents, friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2021. Welcome to the long-awaited, highly anticipated, most well-deserved high school graduation in all of history. Right? I am honored to officially welcome you and to finally commence this commencement. By the way, are you aware that this is the 60th graduation for Cardinal Spellman High School? I think that's pretty cool. Those of us who have been around for a few decades will never forget the powerful events of the 1980s Winter Olympics, when the underdog American hockey team fought their way to the gold medal. What seemed impossible at the outset, gradually and with heart-stopping drama and hope, became a reality. Game by game, goal by goal, we watched a miracle unfold before our very eyes. The victory was attributed to the cohesive camaraderie of the players and the single unified goal to get to the finish line together. And they became known as the Dream Team. So, in some related way, I consider this year that we have just been through a bit of a miracle here at Spellman, or more specifically, a series of small miracles, as we together overcame obstacles and challenges and setbacks, emerging to the end, to tonight, to victory. And what was the glue? I would suggest hope, perseverance, positivity, played a big part in getting us to this day. And I would also suggest that you guys, the class of 2021, you are the Dream Team. So, please don't look back at this year with regret of things that you might have missed out on, but do reflect on the little miracles that made up this year. You were in school, you were in class, you were with friends, you were with teachers, you got to learn stuff, hopefully. You got to play sports. We got to gather for Mass. We put on a couple of shows. Those are all little miracles, I would suggest. And what about last night's prom? Wasn't that fantastic? And not in a consolation prize kind of way. I've been to more than 30 proms in my years, God bless me. And this one was, for me, the best ever. So, by the way, thank you so much to all the volunteer parents who helped make that happen and to make it so special. And the best part was the rain came literally 2 minutes after the last student left the tent. Talk about little miracles. So as you begin to ponder the little miracles, also don't forget to give a shout out to the rest of the Dream Team. Voila. You're amazing teachers. Your tireless counselors, the greatest school nurse in the history of school nurses, Mrs. Hurley. And maybe even a nod to those of us in the main office. We think we're part of the Dream Team too. Thank you. Cheap applause, right? While we're talking about important people, please let me take this moment to thank one very special person who has given much of her life to Cardinal Spellman. Over 52 years of teaching in Catholic education and 35 years or more of teaching, guiding, and loving her students here at Spellman. She is finally going off to enjoy a most well-deserved retirement. We love her very much. And we will miss her. But she will always be a part of Spellman. Everyone, please, let's hear it for Miss Gail Douglas. We love you, Dougie. Thank you. All right, to the point, and then I'll turn it over to Abby, who's coming up next. As your principal, however, I am charged with leaving you with some sound advice. That's part of my job. As you accept your diploma and you head off into the world. I don't suspect that you guys will remember much about what you hear today, especially the words. But I am going to share 3 quick things with you anyway. I hope that you tuck it away somewhere up here, or more importantly, somewhere in here. So you ready? 3 things. You caught the Spellman spirit, and that's a wonderful thing. You also hopefully caught a glimpse of the Holy Spirit, and that is a transforming thing. So seek the Holy Spirit in your life. It's God's greatest gift to all of us. Through it and with it, you will find meaning and purpose in your life, and a peace that will remind you that God is always with you and you will never be alone. Number 2, you are a class with a very big personality. And with that comes big expectations and big dreams. So never forget that you are the class that made miracles come true this year, overcoming what seemed at times to be exhausting and impossible, but you did it. So always believe in and look for those miracles, the big ones that profoundly change your life, and the little ones that bring meaning and joy to your daily life. And number 3, and this one is really important. You ready? Listen up. Here's my best advice to you. Get off the phone. I mean it. Put your phones away from time to time. Live life through a lens that is bigger than the palm of your hand. Live life through a lens that has purpose and spontaneity and authenticity. Honestly, you can't really do that well by looking down all the time. You have to look up. Live in the moment. Foster real relationships that are guided by your heart, not by your fingers. Don't view something like the Grand Canyon through a 3-inch screen. You have to savor those experiences. Take in the grandeur and let it overwhelm you and inspire you and change you. Don't worry so much about capturing the moment on Snapchat or Instagram. Capture it in here, where it counts. And when you're looking for the really important answers in life, don't look for them on your phone. Google does not know everything. Look up. Look up. You are, I always get emotional. You are an amazing group of gifted individuals who have collectively made Cardinal Spellman a much better school. We are blessed that you came here. And now we send you off with confidence and with prayers for a life of true joy and deep peace. God bless you all. I love you guys. So let's get this graduation ceremony started. I know how anxious you are to get that diploma in your hands and to toss that cap in the air. But before we do that, it is my honor to present to you the valedictorian of your class, the class of 2021, the remarkable Miss Abigail Mack.
Fellow classmates, family, friends, and distinguished guests, welcome. Before I begin, on behalf of the class of 2021, I'd like to thank President Hodes, Principal Kelly, Chairman Kevin Kelly, and all of the faculty. Another year has passed, and as our class phases out and a new class enters, you remain the constants. Spellman is Spellman because of all of you. Year after year, you welcome each new class with open arms and teach them what it means to be a Spellman student, something we know we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. This past year especially, Spellman has proved to be both innovative and resilient. The teachers, administrators, and staff have all worked tirelessly behind the scenes to give us the greatest gift, a gift that few other schools could give, a normal school year. Yes, this is a new normal, what with one-way hallways, masks, and social distancing, but because of your diligence, we've been able to get up every morning since September and go to school. Those 3 words that we've taken for granted our whole lives, go to school, are now 3 of the most precious words in the English language. The ability to learn in person has been imperative to furthering our academic careers. The ability to partake in extracurriculars in person, be it sports or even theater, pulling off this year's spring musical and now even last year's musical, has been imperative for furthering our passions. But above all, the ability to interact in person has been imperative for our social and mental well-being. There is something unique about Spellman. There is this je ne sais quoi that each student possesses, which contributes to this vibrant community. Although je ne sais quoi quite literally translates to I do not know what, I will try to define it anecdotally to the best of my abilities. The Spellman experience can best be summed up by something that is such a natural part of Spellman life that I myself often forget it doesn't exist in other schools. Witness talks. Students stand up on stage or in class and pour out their hearts to their classmates, talking about their deepest secrets, hardships, and personal stories. The transfer students who first came to Spellman this year received a baptism by fire when they were first exposed to witness talks. Mr. Duramo asked us in Holy Heroes, one of our senior ministry courses, to write a witness that we would then share aloud. For most teenagers, the thought of talking about personal matters as a high school student to other high school students sounds like a death sentence. Of course, the Spellman students were used to this, so we opened right up and bared our souls talking about things like how we fear public speaking, are anxious about college, or have troubles in our family lives. But the transfer students did what any normal high school student would have done and wrote about how people might not know that they like football or have 2 dogs. Once Spellman students started sharing aloud, as Mr. Duramo had predicted, the transfer students quickly revised their witness talks and opened up to us all, strengthening the bond and blurring the line between Spellman natives and transfers. It's natural to know the life story of each of your classmates. I can truly say that I've connected with each and every one of you, and I hope you can all say the same of each other. The high school experience is often stereotyped as a time when cliques define you and intermingling hardly occurs. Most high schools live up to that expectation, but Spellman defies it, and that defiance is what defines Spellman. Clique is a foreign term here. The golf team is in the musical, and the choir is composed of the track team. No one is afraid to try anything and everything, which only adds to the communal feel and familial bond we all share. Spellman is unique in that its community extends far beyond peer-to-peer relationships. Only at Spellman do students voluntarily venture into the principal's office just to say hi. I genuinely think of my teachers as friends. They truly care for each of us on a personal level. It is common to find students lingering in classrooms after the final bell rings just to catch up with a favorite teacher or 2. Spellman has a clear educational philosophy that I believe is best encapsulated by this Latin phrase, cura personalis, care for the whole person. The teachers are at the core, embodying this philosophy every single day in the classroom. Without them leaving the school in this charge, cura personalis would just be empty words, but at Spellman, they are words to live by. Spellman has taught us what an education means and has inspired in us an appreciation for that education. Education cannot be defined by a letter grade or test score. To be truly educated is to understand the purpose of education, learning for others, and to act on that belief. Knowledge for the sake of knowledge does not make one educated. It is up to us to use what we've learned and will learn to better society. It is time for us to act on our beliefs and share with the world what it means to be a Spellman student. We are people for others. We are educated for others. We must lead our lives for others, always according to cura personalis. When I graduated from preschool, my teacher gave me a copy of Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. When I read it, I felt like I was that boy from the story, about to begin walking through all of the adventures of life. Much to my chagrin, kindergarten was, well, the same. So I put off my adventure. When each new milestone hit, whether it be reaching grade school, middle school, or even high school, I thought, this is it. Now I can begin my adventure. But after a few weeks, the relative newness wore off, and my big adventure was pushed back yet another year. There's a reason why your high school graduation is such a big moment. This is the first time since we were 4 years old that we finally break the pattern of alarm clocks, morning announcements, the Pledge of Allegiance, school bells, packed lunches, hall passes, tardy slips, and homework. Although I don't think we're quite done with homework yet. While our high school years especially have been some of the best of our lives, it's still been, well, school. When I thought of what message I wanted to impart to my fellow classmates as we embark on this next chapter in our lives, I thought of this book, but I was hesitant to crack it open. What if, like all of the previous years, this isn't when our grand adventure begins? However, I decided that it was worth the risk of disappointment to at least see if I could draw some inspiration from its pages. When I read again the opening words, I felt as if I were truly reading them for the first time. So many times in the past, I had longed to start the adventure Dr. Seuss described, but this time, I feel in my bones that it's finally about to begin. And now, here I am, up on this stage, 18 years old, and speaking to a class of high school graduates about to read from a Dr. Seuss book. I'd like to read his opening stanza in the hopes that it resonates with you as much as it does with me. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you... Forgive me for going off script, Dr. Seuss, but where is that great place, and what makes it so great? Do we pick it ourselves or leave it to fate? For better or worse, you've made some sort of choice. You've now picked your path. You've used your own voice. And what a great voice to share with us all. You said, I'm here now, I'll be there in the fall. Wherever your there is, some near and some far, speak out and be brave. Know that you set the bar. So set that bar high. Keep on climbing. You'll see how your passions will make you the best you can be. Because now, more than ever, we're in tumultuous times. So take these words with you, even if they're just rhymes. This past year, we've witnessed how history is created. Elections, protests, pandemics permeated a time that's supposed to be filled with such glee. Because after 12 years, we're finally free. But I know that it's hard. We've sacrificed much. What with distancing, masks, we're starved of just touch. Try to keep in perspective that one day we'll be living reminders of important history. Oh, the places you'll go. Yes, that rings true. But right now, only two paths I present to you. The first is what Seuss calls the waiting place. You can stand back and watch as the world starts to face forward toward the future, with you left behind. For you kept your voice in and never sought to find out what would happen if you had decided to change history's course with the thoughts you provided. And that is path two, the one I hope you choose. Remember that voice that is only yours to use. This is our time to go to great places. It's finally here. I know my heart races. We've been given our chance, so seize it with pride. This is our moment. It's our turn to guide. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It is now my great pleasure and distinct honor to introduce President Hodes.
I always appreciate when Mr. Kelly places me directly behind the valedictorian speech. Leaves me feeling a little inadequate. However, this evening I want to welcome you all to, of course, the commencement exercises here at Cardinal Spellman. But before I begin, I wanted to take a moment to especially recognize some of the class of 2021 who have come to us this year during a most unusual year and under most unusual circumstances. The students from Sacred Heart High School in Kingston and Coyle Cassidy High School in Taunton were faced last year not only with the pandemic, as we all were, but also with choosing a new school where they should spend their senior year. This was because both of their schools had announced that before the end of last year, they were going to close. We are so glad that you, Sacred Heart students and Coyle Cassidy students, chose Cardinal Spellman, and if we may be so bold, we hope and are confident that you are glad as well. You will forever, well, there you are. You will forever be etched in the Spellman family. You will be a part of our family forever. And at the same time, you will be a part of your Sacred Heart family and your Coyle Cassidy family. I would ask tonight in a special way that those students who transferred in from Sacred Heart and from Coyle Cassidy, could you please stand and be recognized for the resiliency and the grit you have shown. Remain standing. I would ask that if you'd note, all of you gathered here, the cords that these students are wearing. Sacred Heart students are wearing the red and blue cord, the colors of Sacred Heart. And those Coyle Cassidy students are wearing the gold and the blue for the colors of Coyle Cassidy. But you're also wearing the gold and rod and crimson for Cardinal Spellman. And we thank you for spending this last year with us. We love what you've given to this class, the joy, the unique gifts and talents. We are, of course, so blessed to have welcomed you to Cardinal Spellman. Thank you very much. You may be seated. I want to open my remarks tonight with a brief story. A few years back, the Pope decided to make a cross-country journey here in America. He was traveling only a short distance between two locations in the Midwest, and so it was determined by his staff that he would travel by town car instead of by plane for the short leg of the journey. Along the way, the Pope's driver rolled down the glass partition, and he said, "I know I'm not supposed to talk to you, Your Holiness, but when they told me that I'd be driving you today, I was so thrilled. I really am so honored that you're with me today. If there's anything I can do to make your trip easier, better, please don't hesitate to ask." The Pope thought for a moment, and then unexpectedly replied, "You know, before I became Pope, I really enjoyed taking a Sunday drive. I would drive for hours and hours, just relaxing, enjoying the wind and the sunshine. But now I have drivers for almost every event and have not gotten behind the wheel in years. Would you mind if I drove for just a couple miles?" The driver happily agreed, and the two switched places. After a while of driving, the Pope became relaxed. He turned on the radio. He hung his arm out the window, just enjoying the cruising. However, not aware of his increasing speed, he was soon pulled over by a motorcycle cop. The cop walked up to the town car, ready to write him a whopper of a ticket, and he saw who was driving. He ran back to his bike and got on the radio with his chief. "Chief," he said, "we have a problem. I think I just pulled over someone pretty important. I'm not sure how to deal with it." The chief responded, "Is it a Hollywood star?" The cop answered, "No, way bigger than that." The chief asked, "A politician?" The cop answered, "No, think bigger." The chief was confused and asked, please tell me you did not pull over the presidential motorcade." The cop answered, "No, Chief. This guy is even more important than the president." The chief asked, "Who's more important than the president?" The cop replied, "I have no idea. All I can tell you is his driver is the Pope." Pause for laughter. What a tremendous sight tonight. Looking out and seeing all of you here gathered. For the first time since this pandemic broke, we are achieving something so amazing that you can only be inspired by what you see looking out at this crowd. So many faces who have faced so much adversity. It's been anything but normal this past year. But today, looking out and seeing these faces fills us with hope. Hope has been all we have had this last year. For the immediate future, that we will soon be able to find our way back to some semblance of normalcy, and for the more distant future, hope for these graduates, that they've chosen the right college, that they will one day land a good job, that they'll find happiness in family or travel, and that they'll live a life full of all they've dreamed of. Hope that all of your sacrifices as families of these graduates will be worth it when they finally buy you that dream home with the millions of dollars they will soon be raking in. We have and continue to be filled with hope. And yet few people take the time to think about what the word hope really means. It can be traced back to the Greek and Latin words elpis and spes, both of which speak to the expectation of future success. Notice that the definition of hope, even in Webster's dictionary, is desire accompanied by expectation. I'm going to repeat that just for a second. Hope is desire accompanied by expectation. We perhaps often don't think of hope in this concrete way, that it is the desire for something and the expectation of that thing becoming real to us. Hope, it seems, is not a wish or a dream, but rather a wanting or pining for something to be real, mixed with the faith that this desire will be fulfilled. This is, in fact, how God has defined prayer. Hope as a verb. Start with desire, add a little faith, not much is needed, just that of a mustard seed should do, so I'm told, and then comes the most difficult part of prayer for all of us, expectation. Expect that what you desire will happen. This is hope. Much harder to do than you might imagine because the enemy of hope is always lurking, waiting to bring its practitioners low. The enemy of hope is disappointment. And once the sting of disappointment has been experienced, the faith needed to hope is sometimes lessened and sometimes destroyed altogether. Last summer, as we prepared to re-enter school in a much different way, many of us had suffered so much loss. Many had endured so much disappointment. Many were losing hope. And then on September 8th, 2020, Cardinal Spellman High School opened its doors again to welcome all students in person 5 days a week. One of the few schools on the South Shore of Boston who attempted this. None of us knew if we could pull it off. But we had hope. We desired something. We had faith. And most importantly, we expected it. As a result, we are here today, having completed the journey of navigating how a school does school during a pandemic. And we are celebrating all of you graduates, you who have continued to give us hope. So as you leave these familiar halls of Spellman and venture out into the unknown, carrying the hopes of your families, your friends, and each other, remember to discern what you really want, what you desire. Remember to have faith, even just a little faith. And then even in the face of disappointment, and even when things seem bleak, expect good things. This is not a wish. It is not a dream. This is prayer. This is what we have endeavored to teach you at Cardinal Spellman, not to be undone by disappointment, not to lose hope, being assured that you can be anyone that you pray to be. You can do anything you pray to do. Don't just dream big, pray big, hope big, live big. Who knows? One day you might be so big you could employ the Pope as your personal driver. Cardinal Spellman class of 2021, it has been an honor to serve as your president. I congratulate each and every one of you on this accomplishment. And Cardinal Spellman class of 2021, let us begin the process that you have all hoped for this evening, the conferral of your diplomas. I welcome Chris Evans to the stage.
Class of 2021, it is a special honor to present you to the community as the graduating class of Cardinal Spellman High School. I wish you all the best of God's blessings as we send you out into the world. I pray that as you go forth on your journey, something you say, or something you do, or some way you have of being will be a witness to the love of God that you hold in your hearts. Wherever you go, whatever you do, have faith in God and know that you will never walk alone. President Hodes, Principal Kelly, Chair of Board of Trustees, Mr. Kelly. As Vice Principal, it's my duty and my privilege to present the members of the class of 2021. These young men and women have completed the course of study required for high school students by the Department of Education of the Archdiocese of Boston. They have been approved and recommended by the faculty and await their diplomas. The following students are awarded diplomas. Kylie M. Flynn. G. Samuel Kelly. Kelly M. Garrity. Lily M. David. Abigail V. Mack. Brendan J. Wiley.
We had this very organized. I don't know what happened.
Emmanuel O. Agbees. Ashley E. Arpin. Emma R. Barry. Jalissa I. Bartholomew. Andrew J. Blake. Tyler L. Bobbin. Charles R. Braga. Amalia Bryce. John D. Bunn. Justin J. Kalot. Mitchell J. Calapai. Tyler J. Chabot. Hans R. Charles. Anna Julia Cividini. Caitlin E. Coakley. Karen T. Coleman. Mark A. Camo. Marcus A. Daly. Trey Delakai. Giovanni H.C. De Oliveira. Calvin J. DePina. Genevieve L. Dockery. Trevor T. Donahue. Ella G. Duffy. Bryn A. Dundon. Aliana I. Dusaban. Christina J. Fantoni. Jessica N. Federico. Gabriel A. Fernandez. Anthony C. Ferreira. Carolyn S. Gardner. Ava N. Gavin. Jaden C. Jellin. Nicholas P. Giardina. Rowan S. Goki. Emma A. Grande. Emma T. Grzbinski. Lauren E. Hanna. Kayla N. Harris. Ava M. Howlett. Mary C. Howley. Madison E. Jeffers. Nicole K. Johnson. Quentin D. Jones. Sarah D. Jope. Ethan Kelleher. Chloe M. Kelly. Mary C. Kelly. Colin R. Kennedy. Joshua P. Krieger. Kaylee M. Labella. Caroline J. LaRue. Shannon T. Leary. Samantha J. Lisinskis. Abigail A. Loftus. Brianna M. Lomasny. Maria E. Lopes. Mary T. Lisco. Roylong Ma. Emily V. Martinez. Allison K. McCluskey. Alyssa A. McCall. Mia T. McDermott. Julia E. McDonald. Aaron M. McLaughlin. Connor G. Meikle. Emily M. Michaud. Okay. 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 Are we ready? Okay. Caitlin J. Monagle.
Congratulations, Caitlin.
Nishanti N. Moore Ellis. Giovanni B. Moreno. Kai D. Morgan. Shannon E. Morgan. Brian J. Morrill. Megan C. Mungavin. Olivia M. Murphy. Stephanie W. Waniki. Zachary W. Nazar. Sarah N. Naughton. Emily K. Nguyen. Taylor B. Nicholson. Ava M. O'Donnell. Olivia G. O'Donoghue. Antoinette N. Oko. Joseph T. Oliveira. Morgan A. Oliveira. Agwahi D. Oman Ukbor. Liam A. Orrock. Sean M. Orton. Anna M. Pakla. Kaylee R. Palma. Dexter Painter. John F. Pellrine. Kaylee A. Peterson. McKenna J. Peterson. Giancarlo R. Perez. Emily A. Perel. Jaden R. Port. Timothy J. Pozierski. Kyla Quell. Joseph R. Radzovich. Joseph J. Ramesi. Emma E. Rodden. John B. Reiber. Zachary M. Richards. Christopher J. Robbins. Karina P. Rodriguez. Benjamin A. Rosado. Zachary P. Rouse. Avery G. Schaub. Julia R. Smitchell. Justin N. Schofield. Braden R. Severance. John J. Sharon. Grace R. Smith. Erin E. Sulia. Shannon E. Souza. Nicholas A. Topfer. Bethany Toussaint. Benjamin B. Travato. Jessica L. Troxell. Aiden B. Verano. Nicholas T. Vilbrun. Giovanni L. Vinagre. Evan M. Viola. Noah J. Volney. Calvin Vu. Caitlin P. Wenners. Allison J. Whitaker. Sydney A. Whitaker. Jennifer D. Yeager. Ariel A. Young. Gianna Youssef. Catherine M. Zewis. This evening, we have 4 of our international students who are unable to be here in person. However, they are joining us remotely from China, and at that time, we are extending congratulations to the following students who are also awarded their diplomas. Sheong Shu Meng. Bowie Shi. Zihan Wang. Shuting Zhao. And now it is my distinct pleasure to present the graduating class of 2021. Everyone? Yeah, 2, turn, 2, 3.
You may be seated. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We're almost there. And look at the timing, 7:05. We do it right here at Spellman, and the clouds have been very cooperative. It's been fantastic. Hopefully a very memorable event in your lives, guys. Just one quick announcement. We have a very special photograph that we like to take every year called the Second Generation Photograph, and that's for students who are graduating today whose parents are also alum of Spellman. So if you are able to come back after we all gather in the side field after the ceremony, if you'd like to come back to the stage, say in about 20 minutes or so, so around 7:30, if you want to come back to the stage, I would love to get that photograph of all of you together. I think that's it. Is that it? Wow, you ready to go off and throw those? We've been waiting, Calvin. The moment you've been waiting for. All right, at this time, we're all going to sing our alma mater, and the words are on the second page of your program. So take out your program and belt it out. Mary Kelly's going to come up to lead us, but we want everyone to sing. So please stand, and in the audience too, it's to the tune of Let There Be Peace on Earth, so everyone can join us. Words are right in your program. Following the recessional, again, we will be meeting over in the field to my right and your left, and we'll all gather together at that time. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you all. You have the words? No, you have the words. There you go, Kevin.
Follow our Lord.